Do you want to be healthier, happier, and even live longer? Believe it or not, the biggest predictor of health, happiness, and longevity isn't genetics, wealth, or even diet. It's the quality of our relationships. That's the conclusion of one of the longest running studies of adult life, conducted by Harvard University. Our ability to maintain effective relationships is also the key to success in our careers, team performance, and leadership performance. In fact, it might be humanity's greatest superpower. The problem is, most of us don't fully tap into the superpower. How much time do you spend learning about how to create and maintain effective relationships compared to, let's say, the time you spend on technical skills or learning about other interests? If relationships are so essential to our health, happiness, and success, you'd think we'd invest serious time and effort into learning how to work better with others. But the truth is, most of us are totally winging it when it comes to building and maintaining effective relationships, relying pretty much on the skills and habits we picked up from our families. No matter how strong your relationships are, there's likely room to improve, and the payoff could be immense. Because so many of us are essentially winging our relationships, unhealthy patterns tend to emerge when conflict shows up. Here's one you've probably seen. Imagine you and I work together. You do something I don't like, and I want to talk to you about it. But what if I don't feel comfortable addressing it with you? So instead of coming to you directly, I'll talk to one of our coworkers about what you did and get them on my side. Or maybe I'll send you a snippy email, sort of hinting about what I'm annoyed about. That's called passive-aggressive behavior, and it's what we resort to when we don't feel comfortable addressing an issue directly. Now, here's the thing. Human beings are very good at sensing when something is wrong, but we're not so good at coming to the right conclusion. So you'll pick up on my negativity, but you won't know exactly why I'm behaving like a jerk. This will likely make you feel disrespected and encourage you to respond in kind. And before you know it, we're stuck in a cycle of passive-aggressive behavior. Have you seen this pattern at work? How about in your home or with your friends? We accept less than ideal relationships every day because we often fail to see them for what they really are. At their most basic level, relationships are agreements. We enter into relationships because both people hope to gain something from them. Now, you might be thinking this is a very transactional way of looking at relationships, but hear me out. It's not about treating relationships like a financial transaction. In fact, just the opposite. Because I think most of us treat financial deals more carefully and with more respect than our most important relationships. Because when money's involved, we make sure expectations are clear. But when it comes to our work or personal relationships, we often don't. If we cared about our personal and work relationships as much as we cared about financial agreements, we would be just as clear about what we want from each other and just as concerned about holding up our end of the deal. In fact, that's the definition of a healthy relationship. One where each person is meeting the needs or expectations of the other. Now that you know that relationships are agreements, how could you use this insight to enhance your superpower of building effective relationships? Imagine if your entire management team learned how to clarify expectations of each other and with those they lead. Imagine if it became normal to check in with each other, to give each other feedback on how well you're meeting those expectations in a simple, non-confrontational way. That's exactly what we teach and practice in the Culture of Excellence Leadership Development Program. If you want to unlock the full power of building strong, effective relationships at work, click the link below to learn more.